Greetings everyone, broadcasting all the way from AJW Miller Stadium. It is University of Johannesburg. That's where we are. We're bringing you live action of the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA Qualifiers 2023. It is the first semi-finals between Gaborone United all the way from Botswana up against Costa Goal all the way from Mozambique. These teams are meeting for the first time in this tournament. Although they've been here, Costa Goal are the semi-finalists 2023, while the Gaborone, they are the finalists 2024. But unfortunately for Costa Goal, they didn't participate in this tournament in 2024. We'll see what's going to happen. Remember, Gaborone United on Wednesday, they broke the records in this ground when they won 10-1 up against the newcomers, Kick for Life, all the way from Lesotho. Up to now, 54 goals just after 12 matches that have been played, that have been scored in this tournament. Records are being trashed. More goals are coming. But before we go on, let's hear what the coaches had to say about this thrilling encounter. And we are joined by the Gaborone United from Botswana. It's Coach Khalid Nyonzima. Coach, your team comes into this semi-final after a massive 10-1 win. How do you make sure that the players stay grounded and not overconfident heading into this tough encounter against Costa Goal?
Thank you for having me. We are taking each and every game as it comes. We knew that the last game we scored 10 goals, but this is a different ball game. It's a semi-final. Anything can happen. We just need a goal to win the game. It's not about playing maybe good football, but you just have to go and fight and grind the results and try to win.
We've seen a rain of goals. What adjustments are you making tactically for a side that's defensively more compact and so disciplined?
I think today we brought in our defensive midfielder who was not present in the past game. Morat Leratari, he's back in the lineup. Remember, he got the first woman of the match in our first game against the Buffaloes. So the next game, the second game that we played against Kick for Life, he was out due to injury. but he's back in the starting lineup. That's the only change that we made, because Desiree, our left back Desiree Kinyaditwe, is not well, so that's the tactical changes that we made.
You're talking about one sub that you did, but which key areas that you believe your team must control to secure the final?
Yeah, we need to manage the central zone and try to press them high in the defensive zone.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, ma'am.
Joining us is Coach Costa Goal, all the way from Mozambique. It's Miranda Tamele. Good morning, Coach. Coach, this is the first match that you'll be facing Gaborone. How are you approaching them, knowing very well their style of game?
Muito obrigado, Mister. É o primeiro jogo com o Gaborone. O que tu achas do jogo?
Bom dia. Tratando-se de uma final, é um jogo diferente, é diferente de um jogo da fase de grupos, é um jogo a eliminar. Nós vimos os dois jogos que a equipe de Gaborone fez, tem uma boa equipe, eu acho que vai ser um bom jogo e nós estamos preparados que é para responder aquilo que serão assim os incidentes do jogo.
Thank you. We see the Gaborone team first, and then it's a good team. We prepare for respond all things to come from the game. I think this final is special for us because it's a challenge for everyone, and then I hope we're gonna get a good result for.
How important will defensive structure and patience be against such a free-scoring opponent?
Qual a importância do setor defensivo para da nossa equipa? O que tu achas para poder impedir a incursão do adversário?
Eu acho que a coisa mais importante hoje não é só olhar muito para aquilo que é o setor defensivo, é a gente conseguir defender como equipa em todo o grupo. Se nós conseguimos defender em grupo e conseguimos ligar o jogo às transições, acredito que nós podemos fazer um jogo bom e saímos daqui vencedores.
I think it's most important to defend for team, not like set on the defensive side, and have to defend it like team, have to prevail everything it's coming from game. We know about our challenge, and then we're gonna try to do our best.
Coach, let's talk about handling the pressure of the semi-final and seizing this opportunity. It's a big opportunity.
O desafio dessa semifinal é uma grande oportunidade para nós.
Aquilo que eu venho sempre dizendo, até quando conversava com as meninas, que essa é uma grande oportunidade para a gente chegar para uma final inédita e também uma oportunidade ímpar para a gente mostrar aquilo que é o desenvolvimento do futebol feminino em Moçambique. Esperamos hoje fazer um bom jogo. Acho que o melhor jogo que nós podemos fazer essa época tem que ser esse, que é para a gente poder chegar à final.
The amazing game we have to do for this season, I think it's that game, because it's a big opportunity for us to be part for final. We have to show, to send some message for everyone, because in Mozambique the women football is developing a lot now, and then we have to start to doing our job, and then I will see, and then okay, I will do the good job, and then I will see on the 19 minutes.
Thank you so much, Coach. Our coach is sounding so ready for this encounter. It's a thrilling one. It's free entrance at University of Johannesburg, A.W. Miller Stadium. Come in numbers, see records being trashed, see more goals, see more drama, history made in this ground. It is the qualifier. One winner goes to CAF Women's Champions League to represent Southern Africa Region Women's Football Club. Kickoff coming up shortly. Let's cross to our commentator, Gloria.
Hello and a very, very warm welcome to the A.W. Miller Stadium. It is the semi-finals that are to be decided in today's encounter. Match number 13. And it is Gaborone United that are up against Costa Goal. Botswana up against Mozambique in what promises to be an intriguing match. They are record-breaking That is Gaborone United, having scored an avalanche of goals in their previous encounter. This is the lineup that is put out from coach Khalid Nyonzima. It's Nancy Bayeletsi, the captain, who will operate in the centre-back role. Laone Gaufetugi also in the centre-back. Yaone Modise, Khoitsimang Tlama, and Ratari Radiokanyo is another one of their players, appearing to be in a 4-3-3 formation. Let us welcome our officials in this match. Vistoria Shangula from Namibia, Evelyn Augustinius of Namibia, and Taijan Ari Hasninaina from Madagascar, and Gloria Sabumba from Zambia. They are given the responsibility to take us through the business end, talking about the captains who believe today is the day. Not to forget, Gaborone United were losing finalists in the previous edition, as this being the 5th edition of a wonderful tournament that has really set the cats amongst the pigeons. The two captains ready to rumble, getting into a huddle, asking for divine intervention. We bring in VAR. Grace Gimo of Zimbabwe, supported there by Nandi Pamenze of South Africa. They will have the bird's eye view. And we then welcome Costa de Sol. Neema Namire keeps her position in goal. It's Jamal Chengweleze as well as Machava who are expected to hold that midfield together. Diolinda Gove, another one of those players who has shown great impetus in this match. Samira Latifo falling short of being one of those players that could be a player of the tournament or a player of the match, and did receive those accolades in the previous match, which was match number 4. That's how hectic the tournament has become, to the stage when players need more than just their talent. Here they are in a huddle. They know what it's all about. It is to get over the top. That is Coach William, who has been part of this team, and also Khalid Nyonzima is also alongside him for this intriguing match. A very strong bench if called upon, and we then look at Clestio Miranda Tlamele, who is also the coach of Costa de Sol. The planning, the plotting is now to be put to work. Gaborone United in the unfamiliar colors, but navy blue it is, with red stockings, and they attacking the goal from the right to the left of your screen. Costa de Sol all yellow, a little bit of blue here and there on the sleeve of a lovely jersey with the yellow stockings. It will be Gaborone United that will get us underway for this match. Beautiful conditions, 23 degrees Celsius with a wind speed of about 21 kilometers and a humidity of 18%. So for the team playing with the wind, they're going to have to adjust their game. The players playing against the wind will know all about it and will hope that they are able to navigate. So the weather having a say in this particular match, and very early in this encounter. Well, we have also had the opportunity to release a group stage 11 in this tournament. Players that have really impressed, put their hand up, and I will share as the match goes on. But let's get started here at the A.W. Miller Stadium. First semi-final. Second semi-final will be between Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco, which is a repeat of the group stage match in which Mamelodi Sundowns won that one by a goal to 0. In this match, record-breaking Gaborone United will want to ensure that they get the team into the final as they did against UWC in Malawi. It's a different outfit this time around. Costa de Sol, who have come in with some free-flowing football, fluid football as such, and a team that not many gave much of an opportunity. But to remind you that Costa del Sol were part of the tournament that is way back in 2022. They were knocked out in the group stages. They were then in the semi-finals in 2013, taking 3rd position. And here they are in the semi-finals yet again. Gaufetugi rather relaxed and eventually getting the throw-in for Costa del Sol, and with a smile on the face. What is important is for the players to really enjoy themselves. Ball in and into the hands of the goalkeeper. So the curtains come down on one of these players who will pack their bags and head home earlier than expected. Coming in, whipping that ball in, and offside position. From an offside position, the referee immediately just picking up the flag to signal the offside. Meeting for the first time, Costa del Sol and Gaborone United. One will be expecting that Ontlametsi, who currently is on the ball, one of the few players from the Gaborone United side who has booked themselves an opportunity to be in the first 11, as Radio Canyo takes a snapshot that is just deflected wide for a goal kick, and one would have expected that to be at least a corner. The goalkeeper got a touch to it and turned it out, so that should have been a corner, and hence Radio Canyo asking the referee. The director, Mr. Nicholas Zakem of Gaborone United, will probably be making an entrance later on. He's really been instrumental in ensuring that Gaborone United continue their business and want to improve every time. Here's an opportunity that is inside the box and needing support play. One would be expecting a player like Jessica Modise to make herself available. Maponga, who had a wonderful day at the office, winning player of the match in their game against Young Buffaloes. So throw in for Gaborone United. On the northern side of the field, picked up by Costa del Sol. It's Marlene Janeiro who takes her eye off the ball momentarily, but under a bit of pressure from Machawe, and that will go for a throw-in. Costa del Sol very patient in these opening minutes, a team that starts pretty slow and then gets into explosiveness. We have a look at the way they lined up and how the coach has set them up. That is Costa del Sol. It's a 4-3-3, a diamond shape with an attacking player in the midfield in Ines Chingalez. She is the player that will be connecting the front three. But with the 4-3-3 formation, as that ball is delivered into the box, and a mistake made, but keeper was pretty much alert. Neymar Namire, one of the international players that play for the Mozambican national team. So again, just getting back to the formation that is used by Costa del Sol. Kainara, Rosa and Urura, the players up front who are expected to maybe press the back line of Machawe Bayaletsi and Tlama. They do have the potential to do so. But in the middle of the park is Gaborone United, whose wingers enjoy hogging the line, staying wide and pretty high. Maybe a little bit of flexibility here and there, getting to also change time and again into a 4-1-4-1 formation. But very well coached and shows a good structure in the side. Dominates in terms of possession, as one looks at Khweitsi Manklama, looking to whip that ball forward for her attackers in Maponga and Modise. Ontlametsi scoring 5 goals in one match. It was very difficult to separate because we had 2 players that had scored handsomely as a turn and shoot. Ball off the woodwork. And how close can you ask of Lucia Mozambique? It was a delightful left-footed shot and the keeper knew nothing about it. And one would be asking questions of the goalkeeper as well as the defense. Have a look at that control and turn, knowing exactly where she was. Keeper would have been beaten hands down. One's got to look at that missed opportunity. Could not get it a little bit lower. That would have been a lovely goal that scored by Lucia Mozambique. On the edge of the box is Costa Defends, just losing out to Nancy Bayeletsi, who is instrumental in the centre-back role. Just one change made by Coach Khalid. Olatile Ratari is the player that comes on for Desiree Kenyaditwe, who's relegated to the bench. That was an early warning for Gaborone United. They would want to do better than they did in the last tournament. Picked up by Ditebe. Showing too much of the ball, and it's tidied up by Chengeleze. Keeper been asked to make herself available. Amelo Peresi. Doba. That is Ditebe. Jessica Modise brings in Miss Ponga. Ball gone out to the right-hand side. A dummy asking to show me your number, but this is a different side where perhaps you won't be seeing an avalanche of goals. This is when you've really separated and sifted the quality and also the teams that are so well coached, so well structured, and not to take anything away from the previous 8 teams that didn't make the semi-final stages. But it does get tougher and tougher. Peresi releases quickly to pick up Radio Canyo. She'll take her time as Radio Canyo, a very experienced player, over 40 caps for Botswana national team. That is Radio Canyo. Picked up, or the last touch of Kainaram Jamal. Rosaminique, diminutive, decisive, and dynamic in that defense. There's a mistake being made, but good cover. Here's Monique, who will tidy up yet again and get that ball furthest away from the defense. Picked up by Costa Defends. Good control, and player goes down right in front of referee Vistoria Shangula. Stopped in the tracks is Lucia Mozambique. Lucia really showing some good feet, good control, good technique, and had to use any means possible to stop Costa Defends from launching one of their dangerous attacks. They can be potent. Talking about their potency, didn't really show that much in their previous games, but they played a 2-2 draw against Olympic di Maroni, going into the break, coming from behind. They were losing by 2-1 against Olympic di Maroni. A second half that was ignited by a good couple of changes, as we have a look at Unitia, who's struggling to get up to her feet as this tournament has taken its toll. Unitia Machava, this is one of the players that was very instrumental in match day 8. She picked up a player of the match against Olympic di Maroni, so it will be very important for the medical team to get her back into the thick of things. 0-0 is a scoreline after 10 minutes. Dropping a lot deeper than expected. Intercepted by Ditebe. That ball goes out for a throw-in. Machava who will operate on the left-hand side. Very strong left-footed player who's also part of the senior national team. There's a bit of concern to Keitu Metsi. She looks a little bit winded. Could there be a nosebleed? Nothing that the medical team can't resolve on the field. And she is quite a strong player, strong-willed. She'll make her way off the field and then wait for the fourth official, that is Gloria Keke Sambuba, to give her the go-ahead to get back into the match. For the moment, Gaborone United are down to 10 players on the field. Muchawe was pretty hopeful, gives away the ball. Seinara, Muchawe. There she's back into the action as Ditebe, operating very much central, and that is due to the dominance that they're looking to try and create. Showing some defensive discipline as well. Maybe one of the players to protect, be the protective barrier in that midfield. Calm down, says Modise. Plays it back, looking for Ditebe, finds her with ease. Ponga on the ball, very nippy, trying to thread that ball through. Who can shoot from distance. She gets the distance right, but doesn't get the ball on target, nor in any areas that could be problematic for Neymar Namiri. Both coaches looking to dominate that midfield. They want to get control through the central areas. Ball in, looking and finding Chingwales. Marlene Janeiro will take it forward and looking to whip the cross. Machava, who stood at ground. Machava. Kisehofitse, Muchawe sends the ball, and Radio Kanya just operating just behind the attacking three, stabilizing the midfield for Gaborone United, a team respected in Botswana, taking the reins from Double Action, who were part of this tournament in the third edition. Player goes down and being pushed. Laone Gaufetuge, the guilty player, and she quickly runs back as if nothing happened. Player helped up to her feet as Angela Mutula, also hard running a midfielder. Free kick, ball in that is slightly overcooked. Was hoping to get it into the goal mouth and hoping that players like Kainara and Rosa or Leila will attack that ball. It's a throw-in for Gaborone United. 54 goals have been scored in 12 matches. This being match number 13. Score lines will certainly dwindle, be much tighter. Could be forced into extra time. Keeper comes out, and that's the first goal. Ontlametsi says, "This is our tournament." She becomes the leading goal scorer in this tournament. Hoitsimang was available, but Ontlametsi decided that she'll register her name just after 15 minutes. So Gaborone United, it was a mistake, but picked up by Modise. And Ontlametsi calmly slots that ball just under the arm of Neema Namire, who had advanced to try and narrow the angle. And those celebrations will continue for quite some time. But the coach, who knows that it's about continuation, they got to make sure that they look for a second and look for a third. But is this the floodgates? Surging run by Unitzia Machava on the far side, but that's also a little strong for a player who runs 100 meters in about 11.2 seconds. Here's an opportunity for Costa del Sol. Ball taken in and driven hard. Quick to respond is Tlamelo Peresi. She just turns that out for a corner. Was one that was trying to create a lot of problems and force her to clash with the upright. But, she was pretty calm and knew exactly what she wants to do and tell you that I navigate this place. This is very easy for me. So corner. Unitzia Machava is given to take the corner. As you can see, the wind is driving it slightly. Ball still in the air. Tidied up by Klamar. Whipped in and with pace by Aurora Agostinho Ngale. Goalkeeper will take her time. She pushes the players up. This is a goalkeeper that was very badly injured out in Malawi. Had to be stretchered off the ambulance coming onto the field and had some concussion. And it's wonderful to see that she's shaken off that concussion and was nurtured and nursed to good health. Continues to play the game that she loves. That's Tlamelo Peresi. There's another player that appears to be just flat on the ground and showing a discomfort on the hammy there. It's Jessica Modise. Some call her Yaone, some call her Jessica. But we do have Jessica Mponga, so I think we could go with Yaone Modise and leave Jessica Mponga. William giving more instructions to Ditebe. Very experienced player in that midfield. So, allow me to congratulate Ontlametsi from Gaborone United, Lesigo Radio Kanye of Gaborone United, and Laone Gaufetugi Mponga as well. Those are the 4 players that have made the best 11 in the group stages. All directed into that big box is Ditebe looking for the quick return. Radio Canyo dispossessed. Costa del Sol will use the pace up front that they have in the presence of Angela Fernando Mutula crossing the ball, but there's no yellow jersey in there. Very slow in joining the attack is Lucia Mozambique. So perhaps a different option to play the ball back with the hope that she will pick up Samira or Diolinda, who would be making their way into the box. And Ditebe is quick to face a goalkeeper. He's looking to get the delivery. But Machawi instead is has opened up to the left-hand side and given them a bit of width. Sells or shows too much of the ball. Picked up by Marlene Janeiro. Lucia Mozambique keeps a foot on the ball. Diolinda Gove. That ball very disappointed. Was hoping that Rosa or Leila will make a run into the box. Good control. Dissected the defense. Marlene Janeiro needs a decent cross. Has got two players to aim for. But that ball just ricochets off her foot and or maybe just skids off the right boot and goes over the goal line. 0-0 after 1-0 in after 21 minutes. Gaborone United scoring in the 15th minute through Ontlametsi. Ditebe giving away possession. Turnover ball in favor of Costa Defends. Samira Latifo hacked away by Radio Kanya. Two players running into each other. Aurora and Modise. Modise has stayed down. Player that has an abundance of talent. Yaone Modise. But every now and then needs a bit of a push from the coach, who knows that on a good day, Yaone can turn any game on its head. Enjoys playing a football out here, but in the national team is given quite a free role, usually operating out on the wings. Here seems to be dropping a little deeper, but then in times of difficulty, he needs to cut in, drop in, and force to dig deep and bring in the defensive duties. That's Yaone Modise. So free kick given to Gaborone United. Ditebe is all over the park. Nancy Bayeletsi. So showing some good discipline is Gaborone United in that defense. Good communication. The two centre-backs constantly giving instructions to the midfielders. That's what you really want to see as the throw-in is taken. Picked up by Clamar. Throw in for Gaborone. Bit of this struggle for both teams to connect some good passes and show really the capabilities. That's due to the fact that both teams are sharing some concerns and are wanting to protect that goal mouth. Maybe a little bit of anxiety has creeped in. You would have expected the fluidity in this match as Rosa launches another attack as Ontlametsi trying to take that ball with a bit of a back heel, trying to flip it over. It's a throw in for Gaborone United. Alice Moyo of the Rental Queens, team that has scored an avalanche of goals but still didn't make it into the knockout stages. Away. Langone Gaufetu picked up. Samira. Lucia. Stopped in her tracks by Gaufetu. Clamar will not want any cross coming from the left-hand side. That ball, out of frustration, hacked away. So Lucia asking for the support from a teammate. It's really been very businesslike as the curtain comes down on the semi-finals. Later on, Zesco and Mamelodi Sundowns will battle it out. It's always an interesting battle between South Africa and Zambian teams. The dominance also of COSAFA in the finals. Both boys and girls, you get to find South Africa and Zambia battling it out most of the time. And that will be quite an intense match, looking to fight for a place on the continent. And a huge showpiece. Only one team from COSAFA. Sundowns have represented the COSAFA region more than once. So did UWC. Other teams baying for an opportunity. This is where it all begins. 10 teams that have come to grace this tournament. 10 teams who have thus far contributed 54 goals. Quite a high-scoring tournament. Young Buffaloes, Kick for Life of Lesotho, Herentals of Zimbabwe, Olympic di Maroni of the Comoros, Beauties of Namibia, and Topwa of Malawi. Those were the all early departures. Ball in! Clear on the line almost. And goalkeeper was very much alert. She's asking if that's not a back pass. But goalkeeper stayed down. Ball was kept in play and delivered a delightful ball that was picked up by Marlene Janeiro. And the touch coming off two defenders of Gaborone United, Haufetugi, as well as Mochawe. They did enough to protect their goal mouth, but that does send a warning to a defense. They looking on, taking notes. Some coaches prepared to sign players on. And the two musketeers on the touchline, William. And here is the director, who is instrumental in this team, the director of Gaborone United. So goalkeeper who's being helped up to her feet seems to be ready to get on with the business. Some of the volunteers and the ambassadors of Hollywood Bets and COSAFA, who contribute their time or give their time. When you look at the future of women's football, one can only but say pretty bright indeed. There is a check that is happening. Questions. Referee just wanting the player to come off the field and then get back in. Good one to Ontlametsi giving chase. Mochawe has been given the instructions not to give much of space nor room and to be pretty tight. Our responsibility for progression in the side is that of Modise, Ditebe, as well as Radio Canyo. Went right through the player is Rosa. Player stayed down. Grimacing in pain is Modise. When you look at Rosa, so we have a look at the replay, she went right through the player and just clipped the ankles there. Not intentional, I think the momentum also taking her right through Jessica, who's very, very comfortable on the ball and adapts to a number of situations there, Yaone Modise. Nicholas Zakem, who is the director of Gaborone United. Oh, they get a free kick. in a positive area closest to the goal. And it will be interesting to see who takes this for Gaborone United. It's two players, Ditebes over the ball, as well as Gaufetugi. So they'll take their time. Four players in the wall, pretty short, which should be pretty easy for Ditebe. Whipped in, keeper makes a hash of it, but enough to get that ball spilled away from the goal, and it trickles over the line eventually for a corner. It was packed with power, packed with venom. Keeper didn't get hold of it, but spilt it and did enough. Radio Kanya just allowing that ball to go out for a corner as Machawe kept in play by Radio Kanya. Ontlametsi looking to play it back, and eventually he doesn't come off for her, but gets a good shot, and that by her standards would be very poor, and she would be very disappointed, and immediately apologizes to her teammates for such. Stop, start, stop, start. Another free kick this time. Costa del Sol pushing up. Very tightly contested, congested midfield as well. Away by Tlama. Here's Costa del Sol on the edge of the box. They just have the numbers as Gaborone, making it very difficult for Costa del Sol to find those passages. Kept in play. Ontlametsi showing some lovely feet. Captain Molina Guerreiro wins it back for Costa del Sol. There's a little bit of concerns. Players don't like the decision that has been made. They believe it should have been a throw-in for Costa del Sol. Machawe, Ontlametsi, hacked away, up and up, as Rosa does give chase. Rosa Monique, she had a fantastic game against Rental Queens. She was menacing in that defense, showing great discipline. I even called her the wall of Jericho. That's Rosa Monique. Not the tallest of players, but does get the job done. "34 minutes, 1-0 in favor of Gaborone. Goal was scored in the 15th minute. Jamal. Tunara. Here's Rosa Monique. Brings in Aurora Augustinho. Picked up by Unitsia Machawa. And that ball goes out. Last touch coming of a Gaborone player. Rosa Monique looking and finding Angelina Fernando Mutula. But the defense is very quick to act. They're not giving her much space. They know if she can turn, then there will be problems. Ines Chingwilez want to get her into the right areas. Chingwiles, very strong and has great vision. Looking for the return ball, but it's not to be, as Menik hacks that ball into the air, helped on. This time Diolinda Gove. Here's Ontlametsi looking for a very impressive Mponga, who doesn't get a hold of it. And that's due to the work that has been put in by Rosa Menik, as well as Aurora Agostinho Ngalo, who doubled up on her. But a delightful ball that was threaded through by Oratile Ratari. Gaborone United have pushed up all the big players. Jessica's in there. Goitimang is in there. Ball in the air and picked up by Marlene Janeiro. Good control. Or for the moment, she has an opportunity to use their transitional play. And Marlene Janeiro just rides a challenge, but the player has stayed flat on the ground. Have a look at this. Oh, that was horrible. That was a horrible moment by Marlene Janeiro. And player stayed down. As soon as we get to see the number on the jersey, which got the entire bench of Gaborone United to get onto their feet and looking at that and say, what is that, Mr. Ref? Marlene gets a yellow card. 38 minutes. Doesn't look good. Player is inconsolable. Have a look at it again. There, from the back, just behind the calf. The size 7 shoe was full on. Well, we got to see a horrible incident at the Women's WAFCON to Bekele Beke, Gabriela Salgado, that had both sets of players cringing and ultimately changing the complexion of the match at a time when Banyana were dominating the match against Nigeria. But this is encouraging to see. Up on the feet, up and about. For any player, you really want them to get on with the business. You don't want these career-ending injuries. Haufituchi, checked on by the captain or by Ditebe. Had no intention of playing the ball. She's given all the time. They also have a VAR check, perhaps for a red card. Didn't really look one of those tackles on players that could be career ending, and communication will be shared. Check is complete. Well, it looks very much like the yellow card will stand. Referee just talking to the players on the park to say, let's get on with it. Yellow card was sufficient, and Gaufituchi will make her way back onto the field. So Machawe, who has a heavily strapped knee as well, is given the responsibility to send another long ball forward, looking for Mponga and Modise. Ontlametsi, who's also remained up front. Modise, beaten in the air by Unitzia. Last 5 minutes of the first half. Crucial to the concentration and the focus of both sets of players. Still in it is Costa del Sol. Klama on the right-hand side of the defense. Hasn't really penetrated much or taken players on. Hasn't pushed up as much as one would like. I think pretty much discipline, different outfit. Had a field day in their match against Kick for Life. Costa del Sol in this particular match made 3 changes. There was no place for Sheila Alfonso, Joanna Muse and Armina Machawa. Those players relegated to the bench. And Lucia got a start together with Ines and Chunara Triangulez. Bayaleti, who's been captain and has steered the ship to safe ground on 2 occasions, coming short in Malawi. Diolinda switches play to the left, away by Muchawa, who was looking for Radio Kanye. Radio Kanye finding Ontlametsi. The return pass was a little too strong and picked up by the opposition. Diolinda, Rosa Monique and Unitzia making themselves available with acres of space, picked up by Triangulez. Gives chase, and will she keep it in play? That ball just goes over the touchline, but you can give her the credit for really ensuring that she doesn't give up right up until the last. Looking to turn the defense into attack from the halfway line. Ball was whipped in the path of Machava. Unitzia Machava. Modise. Klama. Here's Mponga. Spotting the keeper! What a beauty! Jessica Mponga gets onto the score sheet. Mponga makes it 2-0 in the 43rd minute. Saw the keeper come out of a line and picked her head up. Maunga Ponga. Maunga Jessica Ponga. And this also increased her 5th goal in this tournament. Good connection, good volley, and dipping at the right moment. Brilliant effort. Another great one from Miss Ponga, Maponga. Wow. There's definitely a battle in this side when you've got 2 goal scorers in Ontlametsi and Maponga that are battling it for the golden boot. That tells how destructive they can be. Scoring at the right moment. Player management focus, which was highlighted. Here's Unitzia Machava looking for Diolinda. Picked up by Mochawe and hacked away. Very solid in that back 4. Throw in. But it's Klama that is organizing from the right-hand side with the additional time being 3 minutes. Additional time, 3 minutes. Can Costa del Sol pull one back? Coach talking about defensive work. He has a ball! Brilliant! Costa del Sol! They're not done yet. They are not done yet. Brilliant effort When one looks at the moment that ball struck a foot, it looks like Samira Latifo, the goal scorer. It was nicely played back by Diolinda. Oh, man. Wonderful stuff here at the A.W. Miller Stadium. It is Samira Latifo. Good connection. And that ball asking questions of goalkeeper Camilo Peresi. So 2-1. Samira Latifo. Samira Latifo registers her name. They responded. They brought back the deficit to 1. Goal stands. And Radio Canyo tries to look for that advantage yet again. Ontlametsi rides a challenge, tries to show some lovely skill. Here's another opportunity for Costa Defends. Giving chases Diolinda. Diolinda Gova needs to deliver the cross, but there's nobody there. Maybe Unitzia Machava needs to cut down a little bit more. They get into the right places, but outnumbered in that attack. What a beauty. So it took 2 minutes to respond to the goal they conceded from Jessica Mponga. 2-1. 57 goals in total. This will give them the confidence they need. They'll go into the break with their tail ups and the belief that they can get into the opposition half. They can find the goals. And they will make sure that when they come out of the break, they'll want to pick up from where they left off. And an opportunity for coaches to look at the bench. You've got Sheila. You've also got Anna Makamo. That is the bench of Costa del Sol. You've got Gracia Samusa. But I think players like Joanna and Armina Machava are also ready to come in the second half if needed. And referee Victoria Shangula blows a whistle 3 times and allows the ladies to take a break. Gaborone United, I'm sure coach will be livid with the focus, with the manner in which they conceded, not closing down the player with the ball, but be that as it may, it was a quality strike that was taken by Samira Latifo. We confirm the score at 2-1 in favor of Gaborone United at the break. We'll have a look at the statistics. Not much between the two sides in terms of possession. Also, when you look at the standard situations, 3 corners in total. And if either side could improve their shot accuracy and pass accuracy, we could be in for a much fluid match. Goal attempts is being 6 apiece. And as I said, it's very tightly contested. Well, that's how the first half ends. To join us after the break. To take us through the business end, talking about the captains who believe today is the day. Not to forget, Gaborone United were losing finalists in the previous edition, as this being the 5th edition of a wonderful tournament that has really set the cats amongst the pigeons. The two captains ready to rumble, getting into a huddle, asking for divine intervention. We bring in VAR. Grace Gimo of Zimbabwe, supported there by Nandi Pamenze of South Africa. They will have the bird's eye view. And we then welcome Costa de Sol. Neema Namire keeps her position in goal. It's Jamal Chengweleze as well as Machava who are expected to hold that midfield together. Diolinda Gove, another one of those players who has shown great impetus in this match. Samira Latifo falling short of being one of those players that could be a player of the tournament or a player of the match, and did receive those accolades in the previous match, which was match number 4. That's how hectic the tournament has become to the stage when players need more than just their talent. Here they are in a huddle. They know what it's all about. It is to get over the top. That is Coach William, who has been part of this team, and also Khalid Neonzima is also alongside him for this intriguing match. A very strong bench if called upon, and we then look at Clestio Miranda Tlamele, who is also the coach of Costa de Sol. The planning, the plotting is now to be put to work. Gaborone United in the unfamiliar colors, but navy blue it is, with red stockings, and they attacking the goal from the right to the left of your screen. Costa de Sol all yellow, a little bit of blue here and there. We'll be expecting that Ontlametsi, who currently is on the ball, one of the few players from the Gaborone United side who has booked themselves an opportunity to be in the first 11, as Radio Canyo takes a snapshot that is just deflected wide for a goal kick, and one would have expected that to be at least a corner. The goalkeeper got a touch to it and turned it out. Match was very difficult to separate because we had two players that had scored handsomely as a turn and shoot, ball off the woodwork. And how close can you ask of Lucia Mozambique? It was a delightful left-footed shot and the keeper knew nothing about it. And one would be asking questions of the goalkeeper as well as the defense. Have a look at that control and turn, knowing exactly where she was. Keeper would have been beaten hands down. One's got to look at that missed opportunity. Score lines will certainly dwindle, be much tighter. Could be forced into extra time. Keeper comes out, and that's the first goal. Ontlametsi says, this is our tournament. She becomes the leading goal scorer in this tournament. Hoitsimang was available, but Ontlametsi decided that she'll register her name just after 15 minutes. So Gaborone United, it was a mistake, but picked up by Modise, and Ontlametsi calmly slots that ball just under the arm of Neema Namire, who had advanced to try and narrow the angle. And those celebrations, score lines will certainly dwindle, be much tighter. Could be forced into extra time. Keeper comes out, and that's the first goal. Ontlametsi says, this is our tournament. She becomes the leading goal scorer in this tournament. Ontlametsi decided that she'll register her name just after 15 minutes. So Gaborone United, it was a mistake, but picked up by Modise, and Ontlametsi calmly slots that ball just under the arm of Neema Namire, who had advanced to try and narrow the angle. And those celebrations is given to take the corner. As you can see, the wind is driving it slightly. Ball still in the air, tidied up by Klamar. whipped in and with pace by Aurora Agostinho Ngale. Goalkeeper will take her time. She pushes the players up. This is a goalkeeper that was very badly injured out in Malawi, had to be stretchered off the ambulance. Herentals of Zimbabwe, Olympic Di Maroni of the Comoros, Beauties of Namibia, and Topwa of Malawi. Those were the all early departures. Ball in! Clear on the line almost. And goalkeeper was very much alert. She's asking if that's not a back pass. But goalkeeper stayed down. Ball was kept in play and delivered a delightful ball that was picked up by Marlene Janeiro. And a touch coming off two defenders of Gaborone. Pretty easy for Ditebe. Whipped in, keeper makes a hash of it, but enough to get that ball spilt away from the goal. And it trickles over the line eventually for a corner. It was packed with power, packed with venom. Keeper didn't get hold of it, but spilt it and for the return ball. But it's not to be, as Monique hacks that ball into the air, helped on. This time Diolinda Gove. Here's Ontlametsi looking for a very impressive Mponga, who doesn't get a hold of it. And that's due to the work that has been put in by Rosa Monique, as well as Aurora Agostinho Ngalo, who doubled up on her. But a delightful ball that was threaded through by Oratile Ratari, and playing the 1-2, quick to release Jessica Mponga. And that way by Muchawa, who was looking for Radio Kanye. Radio Kanye finding Ontlametsi. The return pass was a little too strong and picked up by the opposition. Diolinda, Rosa Monique, and Unetsia making themselves available with acres of space. Picked up by Trengolez. Gives chase, and will she keep it in play? That's ball just goes over the touchline. But you can give her the credit for really ensuring that she doesn't give up right up until the last. Looking to turn the defense into attack from the halfway line. Ball was whipped in the path of Machava, Modise. Gama. Here's Mponga. Spotting a keeper! What a beauty! Jessica Mponga gets onto the score sheet. Mponga makes it 2-0 in the 43rd minute. Saw the keeper come out of a line and picked her head up. Maunga Ponga. Maunga Jessica Ponga. And this also increased her 5th goal in this tournament. Good connection, good volley, and dipping at the right moment. Brilliant effort. Another great one from Miss Ponga, Maponga. Wow. There's definitely a battle in this side when you've got 2 goal minutes. Can Costa del Sol pull one back? Coach talking about defensive work. He has a ball! Brilliant! Costa del Sol. They're not done yet. They are not done yet. Brilliant effort. When one looks at the moment that ball struck a foot, it looks like Samira Latifo, the goal scorer. It was nicely played back by Diolinda. Oh, man. Wonderful stuff here at the A.W. Miller Stadium. It is Samira Latifo. Good connection. And Hello and welcome back to the second half of our first semi-final match. Gaborone United and Costa del Sol locked at 2-1 apiece. It is the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA Qualifiers 2025. 3 goals that have been scored. Ontlametsi opening the scoring in as early as the 15th minute, followed by Jessica Mponga in the 43rd and Samira Latifo in the 45th minute. Gaborone United in the red stockings and navy jerseys, with Costa del Sol of Mozambique in the yellow stockings as well as the yellow shorts. Gaborone United team attacking the goal from the left to the right of your screen. Force backwards. Use Tlamelo Peresi, who has been able to pick the ball out of a net on one occasion so far. 1-0 against Young Buffaloes, 10-1 against Kick for Life. That is Gaborone United breaking the record and setting a new one that stands as the most number of goals scored in the Champions League and in a particular match, 11 in total. That final score reading 10-1 in favor of Gaborone United. On the day, it was Ontlametsi who picked up 5 goals. She is on the scoring and has now increased the tally to 6. As it stands, they look like they're on their way to the finals, which will be the second time coming. Here's a mistake made as Jessica Mponga picks it up, but tied it up, and it is Rosa Monique that has done well in that defense, operating as the 2 centre backs. Hogging the line, and a good turn by Unitia Machawa. Coming out a lot more stronger is Gaborone United. I think after conceding that goal in the 45th minute, the coach could have been absolutely livid with a team that thrives in keeping clean sheets. Bit of a stop-start in the first half, but here's Costa del Sol. Klama. Good piece of work by Nancy Bayelet. Releases and finds Radio Canyo. Canyo comes to the right, looking for Ditebe. Decent ball in between the defense, but overcooked. And that will go all the way for a goal kick. 2-1, Gaborone United. Keeper of Costa del Sol. Bright and pink, looking pretty much Pink Pantherish. Bamanani Bani, Nyagumbo of Rentals, and Refilwe Tolagele of Mamelodi Sundowns, currently sitting on 3 goals. They can add to the tally. Some individual awards in this tournament. Goalkeeper of the tournament, Golden Boot, Player of the tournament is Rosa, just making sure that there's no through pass. Samira, the goal scorer. Diolinda got the return pass. Lucia Mozambique currently sits on 4 goals. Spotting the run made by Modise. Radio Canyo. Good ball in, and keeper was quick off a line. So Group A, Group B, and Group C. 4 teams were in Group A. Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco Ndola. As the ball is being cleared away, Beauties of Namibia and Topwa of Malawi, the only team that, in actual fact, in Topwa, Beauties, as well as Kick for Life, leave the tournament not having a win. But when you look at all of them, they all managed to score at least a goal. It is Mamelodi Sundowns that is yet to concede. Goalkeeper makes herself available. There's 3 players at the back, packing the midfield, looking for that numerical advantage. They've now pushed up 1 player into the attacking line, that is Costa Defends. Good switch of play. Lucia releases that ball to the right. Diolinda is available and stopped in her tracks. He has a ball in comfortably into the hands of the goalkeeper. Directed very well. Keeper just using her hands to take the flight off the ball. It is in Group B, where most goals were scored. 11 by Gaborone, 3 by Young Buffaloes, and 2 goals by Kick for Life. That giving us a total of 16 goals. In Group C, we got 12 goals. Each team having registered 4 goals. In Group A, where there was 4 teams, Sundowns with 11, Zesco with 8, that makes it 19. 22 with Beauties, and 25 if you add top was 3. So 25 goals scored. Here's a chance here for Gaborone United, but good cover defense. Good return to a place by Augustinho Ngalo. Never gave up. Gave chase right up until the last. Here's Chunara. Ditebe. Very patient with the ball is Doba Doba. Neymar Namire has looked on as Peresi on the opposite end has been used every now and then. Aurora. Angela Fernando. Radio Canyo. On Tlamet. Tlamas calling for it on the right hand side. Looking to peel away from the central parks. Looking to get the width. There's a moment that went begging. Slightly overcooked, and Angela Fernando couldn't keep that ball. As turned over to Gaborone United. Is Radio Khan. She can whip that ball in if given the room and the space, but she loses focus as that ball goes out. Rosa Monique is pretty hot on the hills. Goalkeeper forced to quickly release that ball. Gaborone United forced backward, and in the process gives possession to Angela Fernando, who could punish them. Here's Olympic Costa Defends. Peeling away is Unetia. Player went down in a clash of heads, and both the sets of medical doctors and support are called to investigate the players. There's Tlama, who was trying to protect the ball, and here's the moment, Unitia using her head, and both players going in. Tlama still had the presence of just kicking it away, and through that pain, she's certainly going to be experiencing some pounding headaches. It's Tlama. On the other hand, Unitia Machawa, who has had a bit of joy on the left-hand side in previous matches. Her work's been cut out in this match. Does have a goal to her name, but not in this one. So when you look at the top finishers in each group, Costa del Sol doing ever so well with the win and a draw, scoring 4 goals, 2 goals against, and managed 4 points. Rentals, who are in second position, that also with 1 win and 1 loss. That was your Group C. Group B, Gaborone United qualified quite comfortably. Gaborone, Jessica tries to deliver to find on Tlametsi. Captain has been fantastic. Ines Chingules. Tlametsi tired out there, has given it her all. Well, this tournament has produced just some good players over the years. From Lesotho, you've got players like Sepiriti. It was good to see her make a comeback. When you look at players like Ditebe with over 35 caps, experience aplenty, that's easy into the hands of the goalkeeper. Radio Kanya over 51 caps, been brilliant in this tournament. Modise 6 caps. He has a chance for the Mozambican side, but that final pass, it's the decision making in that final pass. Leila disappointed for a moment or two. Bayeletsi, also another one of those internationals with over 30 caps. So when you look at the side, you really are looking at quite a number of international players that have graced this tournament, and hence the quality of the game always improving. Rosa, Monique, Unitia, good control shown by Lucia. As far as Ines Chingules, Trinara loses out to Tlametsi. Keeper comes out, player goes down in the box, and she believes there was a bit of jersey tagging. Radio Kanya. Mapanga plays it back to Radio Kanya. Jessica makes the run, but straight into an offside position. Radio Kanya taking a little too long to release that ball, as Oratile Ratari also brings Machawe a little bit of comfort as they keep the ball a lot longer. Mochawe can shoot if she likes, but instead we'll find Ditebe. Ditebe has Ama on the right. Good 1-2. Step over. There's a Ditebe. Doesn't get a hold of it very well, but encouraging start by Gaborone United. This is what they can do. They can keep possession, connected about 8 passes before Ditebe hacked that ball away. You want to see a lot more of that from Gaborone United. Ball played back to Chingules, kept in play. Needs a decent ball in. That finds Lama. Helped on. Rosa does well. Strength in the middle of the park. Chingules will try and pick it up. Not the tallest, but jumps quite high. Rosa Manique. As this match fast reaches the 1 hour mark, a beautiful day, 23 degrees with a strong wind of about 21 kilometers, making it very difficult to play the ball in the air. Perhaps coaches just giving the players some instruction to keep it on the ground, play it hard and low. Costa do Sol, team out in Mozambique along the coastal region. Gaborone, they know that this match is close. As it grows closer and closer to the 90-minute mark, there will be belief. Costa do Sol, they know that they can pull another one back. Goes out for a throw-in. A lot more structure in the second half. Chinara, Jamal. Control a little bit hard. This ball ricocheting off the thigh, and here we get to see the first change. Chinara, Musa, and Sheila Alfonso makes her way onto the park. Sheila and Ines Chingules had a quiet day at the office, and her name is, she's been substituted by Armina Machava. So Ines Chingules, captain, is refreshing the side, looking for a bit of pace. Come in and slot into the middle is Armina Machava. Chinara, who had come in, and Chingules had come in for Sheila and Armina. Ball in the air, brought down. Good fight there by Gaufetuge. So you have a look at that moment, their player just going down rather easily. Malin Janeiro. Malin on a yellow card, as Yaone Modise is the player to come on, and in comes Siboto. That's jersey number 10, Amukelang Samantha Siboto. Possession turned over. Here's Costa do Sol. Picked up in the middle of the park. It's Samira Latifo. Tried to send it out, looking for Unitsia Machava. And she gave up the chase. Amogelang will be allowed to settle in. It's come in for Modise, so refreshing the team in 64 minutes. Seboto, part of the under-20 national team, got a caps there. Has tried to force a way into the senior team as well. Looking for the return ball. Instead, it was Costa del Sol that picked it up. Lucia will give chase. And Inizia continued to run. Lucia's looking for it. Needs a cross. And that ball had just strayed over the line for a goal kick. That ball just ricocheting. Will be disappointed with the effort. She knows that she was in with the money. Costa del Sol. Chingueles is given way. Marlene Janeiro will take responsibility. Ball whipped in. Keeper followed it right up until it went out of play at Tlamelo Peresi. So coach Khalid Neonzima will spur his ladies on. He knows he's in with a chance. It's a matter of time. He's got the lead that he wants and needs another just to knock the winds out of their sails and to cement the dominance of Gaborone United in this tournament. Ditebe. Picked up by Oratile. Sheila. Diolinda. Ontlametse releases Radio Kanye. She has Monique with her. Rosa Monique. Good turn by Ontlametse. She had to have 2-3 players to stop her in her tracks. Radio Canyo, strength. So corner for Gaborone United, and it looks like Machawe has gone up to take the corner, exposing a defense, bearing in mind that she's playing in the center back. Ball delivered, keeper makes a hash of it, but it's tidied up by Samira. Gets it away. Needed a bit of a touch. These two teams have never met, and so it's their first engagement. They've navigated with a bit of caution. Goalkeeper is asked questions, but that ball just not dangerous at all as it goes over the bar for a goal kick. Diolinda. How lucky is she? Samira Latifo. Diolinda plays it back to Rosa Monique. Monique finds Aurora Agostinho Ngale. Ngale continues the run. Looking to thread that ball as Unitzia Machava gets the touch of a Gaborone player. That still gives them the possession. Aurora Agostinho plays the 1-2 and then doesn't react quick enough. Tama. Headed away. Armina Machava has come on. Quite a stubborn defense in Costa del Sol. Well drilled, very disciplined. Namiri played short between the two players. Samira protects the ball well, goes out to her right. Under pressure is Costa del Sol, but eventually comes out. Look at the lovely feet of Samira Latifo. Radio Kanye just offering a hand. Quick feet. Comes away. They're being held back. Referee says that's a bit unfair. Let's give the free kick to Costa del Sol. Rosa Monique. Picked up by Lucia Mozambique. Lucia looking for Unicia, finds Unicia. Lucia Mozambique. Ball a little too heavy, but it is Nancy Bayelezi. Bounce of the ball, kept in play by Amokelang Suboto. Heavy first touch, but good recovery. Sent back to Arura. Here's Monique. Players stay down as Samira Latifo, and that will be concerned. She's really been a live wire, but the tournament taking its toll on the legs. That is when she got injured at full stretch. She also did a little bit, she also caught a bit of a leg there from Amokelang Siboto. As she followed through, players being asked to hydrate. There's no water break. That's why the referee, that is Victoria Shangula, says just walk off and go off the field, receive treatment. They'll come back on once the fourth official is ready to allow the players back. Gaborone United. Looked at Group A, many thought it's a group of death. But out of that group is Zesco as well as Mamelodi Sundowns. Very structured. Clearance on the sides. Long ball forward. But picked up by Costa del Sol. Unicia needs to play it right. Now the ball in the box. Trying to curl it. And Angela Fernando was making the run on the blind side. The keeper was very quick to diffuse that situation, spotted her. With the space on the far side. Maponga. When we look at the players of the match, Mamelodi Sundowns with Boitumelo Rabale winning 2 of those player of the match. They've got a total of 3. Gaborone United, when they had their games, they had also 3 player of the match in their match against Young Buffaloes. Player of the match was Jessica Maponga. Costa del Sol, player of the match, Unicia, in the versus Olympic Di Maroni. As they are on the ball, here's Costa del Sol, ball delivered into the box, connection. Don't get a hold of it, but that was a good idea. You had 2 players waiting for that ball. Trying to get it on the volley. Here's Ditebe, closed down. And it's Rosa comes alive with that ball. We spoke about how diminutive she is, very determined as well. It looks like Amokelang Siboto, the player that is on the receiving end. Well, that's Mr. Sapula. together with Rhoda Mulaudzi, who has been promoted to the senior side. Rhoda Mulaudzi, she is a princess. Rhoda Mulaudzi, belonging to the royal family. So Mr. Zolile Godfrey Sapula, who says, please call me Zolile, not Godfrey. But all his life, we've known him as Godfrey Sapula. They are waiting to see those Amayas and the Shibobos loving the way in which Mamelodi Sundowns carry themselves out on the field. Crowd favorite is Ramalepe, as a goalkeeper comes out there into her player, picks it up very quickly. She wasn't to take any chances. Here's Samira Latifo. Out to the left is Aurora Agostinho, looking for any mistake to pounce on. Chingueles has given way. Chinara has given way. Sheila Alfonso and Armina Machava is in the side. Rosa Monique will use a goalkeeper. Eventually realizes that she's in trouble. Amuchelang dispossesses Rosa, but unfairly, as the flag was hoisted high and frantically so. When a player thought, no, she's going to use a goalkeeper, there she was held back. Costa del Sol patiently are looking for the openings. 76 minutes gone. They've got about 15 minutes to fight and make a comeback. Diolinda and co. Samira. Gaborone is not giving them too much time on the ball. Diolinda. She gets a foot in, but quickest to the ball is Tlamar. Bounce of the ball, deceiving as Oratile Ratari. Doesn't judge that bounce very well, but it is Costa del Sol, patient, navigating their way down on the right-hand side of the field. Diolinda carries it for Costa del Sol, threads it through the legs, takes a shot, and that's enough to allow the team to get back into position. Diolinda, referee's off the bench. He knows that there's a race against time. A race against time. Here's Amuchelang showing a bit too much as that ball just rolls over. Tlamar tried to keep it in play. Hands in the air and asking the referee for some protection. In actual fact, this is when it becomes interesting, because Gaborone United would believe their player was infringed, and a yellow card is for Radio Canyo. 78 minutes. Lisijo. It's played short. Diolinda looking to thread the ball to Armina Machava. Machava does well. Very lanky player. Nicely keeping possession. Aurora. Here's Diolinda. There's Machava. And that ball goes out. And you can see that for the defense of Gaborone United, they don't want that. They don't want to give space. They don't want to give time to Costa del Sol. Corner. Ball in. Header into the hands of the keeper. Doesn't get a hold of it. Eventually they come away with it, but in the form of Aurora. Player goes down and it's inside the box, and that's the penalty. Penalty immediately pointed to the spot as Aurora Agostinho Ngalo goes down, and Now there's work to do. Player got into the box. Have a look at this. Doesn't get hold of the ball. Instead, hacks the player away. It looks like Amukhelang Saboto, a player that's just come on in the second half. And there's no doubt about the penalty. They were piling on the pressure. Is Costa Goal fixing up a few things, still playing with three at the back, added another player in the middle of the park to have a 3-5-2. But every now and then you get the players going up front and you have four in the attacking line. That pressure was bound to cause the problems in the attack and also in the defense. So looking at Gaborone United, they now have their backs against the wall. They allowed Costa Goal back into it. But look, as much as they do have a penalty, the bigger job is to get the ball in the back of the net. That's not done yet. So the goalkeeper has it all to do in protecting the lead. Being asked to leave the field is Arura Augustinho Ngalo. Penalty to be taken by Lucia Mozambique. Mr. Tlamelo Peresi. Very hopeful. Ball nicely placed. Lucia with 4 goals in this tournament. Can she make it 5? Players being warned that there will be no encroaching. Referee just making sure that they're all behind the line. Penalty taker is the only one that is allowed in that box as they check from VAR to confirm, but looks like the referee's decision is made. Player is ready to get into the action, but these few seconds will maybe destabilize. Let's hope the focus is very strong. This is when you need your mental strength. 82 minutes. So we could go straight into penalty shootout. I'll just quickly check the rules for you. Referee been asked to go to VAR and have a look at whether or not that is a penalty. She's got to make that final decision. Player got the ball according to that picture when you look at it. But still coming from behind. There, if you have a look at that, player, and down she goes, bearing in mind the momentum of Amukhelang in that moment as the player went down, grimacing in pain. The control was good. She tried to cut in, and on top of her was there. That's pretty close. Lucky that I'm not a referee. But good discussion, a healthy discussion taking place between Ines Kumbo Nandi Pamenza and referee Vistoria Shangula. Penalty is being checked. When you look at the two sides, it's really been tough. It's really been that is very clear. They say no penalty. After having a good look at it, decision turned over. No penalty. They say Amukhelang got the ball first before the man. But here's an indication for another change. And it is Ditabe that will give way. Etumetsi. They've decided to change their mind. It's Gaborone United. They were preparing to make the change. Well, there have been a number of players that have put their hand up in this match. Throws on Monique. She allows the defense to come back into position. Touches that ball out of play, and it is Gaborone United who will press. Push up a good couple of players, but there's some discipline with 3 players on the line. Has an opportunity for Samira Leftifo. Rosa. Costa Defends. They will take away with them from this tournament a fantastic outing. Here's Armina Machava. Good control over the top, looking for Diolinda. Bounce of the ball between the 2 players, and communication is key as Diolinda spreads that ball to the left-hand side and finds Aurora. Yazunitzia. Ball delivered in the box. Still in the air. Diolinda will keep it moving. On Tlametsi, as that ball just rolls over the goal line. An attempt by Unitzia Machava, looking for the swerve, looking for the curler. Gaufetur. 5 minutes to go, plus referee's optional time. Still plenty of time for Costa Defends to find the equalizer in this first semi-final, as Gaborone United are in the lead by 2-1 in the 15th minute and 43rd minute. Pulled one back is Samira Latifo in the 45th minute. When we get an opportunity, we'll get to remind you those goals. Here's an opportunity for Ditebe. Amukhelang looking for the quick return. There's Ditebe trying to send it right back, looking for Radio Canyo. Whipped right being in by Tlama. Here's Costa Defends come away with it in the form of Lucia, Mozambique. It's a ball out, looking for Chunara. Unitzia. Lack of communication just gives the opportunity to Gaborone to again whip it through the defense. Here's Ditebe. Kept it in play. Who's available in the box? Coming unmarked. Come on! Here's Otwan Tlametsi. Fantastic effort from Tlametsi Tlama. She gets her second goal, and that is the decider. Tlametsi in the 88th minute. But it was Ditebe who picked her head up and knew that delivery was spot on. The first take on the chest was brilliant. The second was decisive. And that just knocks the wind out of Costa Defends to make it 3-1. So Tlametsi gets her 7th goal of the tournament and is running away with the golden boot. Gaborone 3. Costa Defends 1. 88th minute, 15th minute. 7 goals in total for Ontlametse. But Ditebe did well when she does go forward. Precision in a pass. Weighted it nicely. But the take was beautiful by Ontlametse. We are fast reaching the 90th minute. And Gaborone United would make a change. Silibatso, the player to come on. And mind you, just before that change, it was Ditebe, the player that they wanted to take out. Who now has an assist. And Samira Latifo comes off. And number 10 is Amelia. So number 11 also comes on for Costa del Sol, Nadia Faranguana. Amelia Albano, Nadia Faranguana. Those are the players that have come on. Sheila Alfonso. 4 changes that really didn't make too much of a difference. Arminia Machava. Those are the 4 players. You look at Gaborone United. On the other hand, we had Amukhelang Sibotos come on, and Silibatso has just made a way onto the field. And Jessica, who was substituted earlier, and Keitumeti Ditebe is given way. So 5 minutes is the indication. Nadia Faranguana. Still kept in play by Costa del Sol, still fighting right up until the end. That is one thing that they are a team that is quite tenacious and shows some resilience. Coach is asking his players for focus. Ditebe is now moved up. Teolinda finds Aurora. Picked up by Nadia Farangua. Nadia's come in, just replaced Chingwelez. Armina Machava. Samira Latifo, the other player that has ran her socks off for Costa del Sol. Very difficult day at the office for Costa del Sol. 21 fouls in total. Here's Ditebe looking, picking her head up. Amukhelang will get into that space, but she takes it to the byline. She trusts herself, but on this occasion, maybe doing a little too much with the ball. Radio Kanya just stopping the attack. Very much high up in the field. Amukhelang Siboto, who came on. Arminia also came on a bit later, the 2 jersey number 10s, hoping to influence and change the complexion of the match. They forced out to the far side, but they've really dictated the tone as Gaborone United. Players like Machawe in that defense have been fantastic, showing a lot of discipline. And when you're looking for a player of the match, look no further. In that defense, they will be there for Gaborone United. And just looking at the 6 corners, keeper comes out, makes a hash of it after having a good day at the office. So we are told that Gesegofetse Muchawe, jersey number 2 of Gaborone, is the player of the match. The referee would look at her clock, and she believes that the players have done enough. She has also agreed in that it is time to congratulate Gaborone United for reaching their 2nd final of this COSAFA Championship, the qualifiers, the COSAFA qualifiers. So congratulations to Gaborone United. Coach Khalid Niyonzima has again made sure that he books his place at convincingly by 3-1. Goal scored in the 15th minute by Ontlametsi, 43rd minute by Musponga, and in the 45th minute it was Samira Latifo who scored that goal for Costa Defends. And the final goal in the match was Ontlametsi on the day, scoring a brace. And our player of the match with a smile on the face is Muchawe. Fantastic effort. And Miss Brenda from Zambia, awarding her with the lovely player of the match award. That will be on the cabinet for quite some time, reminding her of the tournament in Johannesburg. As we have a look at the full-time statistics, the possession had turned over as Costa Defends with the team that were looking to fight their way back into it. 53% for Costa Defends and 22 fouls in the match. But when you're looking at the goal attempts and the returns, it was Gaborone United with 10 goal attempts, 5 of those of target. But more interesting is that scoreline right on the top of your screen. Gaborone United 3, Costa Defends 1.
Congratulations. I am joined by Gaborone coach, the winning coach, Coach Yalit Niyonzima. Congratulations, coach. You just booked yourself a place in semi-finals. What does that mean to you? Back to back, coach.
It shows that we as Gaborone United Football Club, there's something that you are doing it right. But first of all, let me start by thanking the players, the technical staff, and my opponent. They came up with a good tactical play because they know that they have the good players in the midfield who can take those long balls, try to overturn our defenders. But we managed to deal with them first half. It's an unfortunate incident that we considered through that ball in the 9 minutes of the first half. So it changed our halftime talk, because now we have to try to manage the game, because the scoreline was 2-1. But I'm happy with the result, but not that much happy with the performance. You can agree with me, because you can see that the legs were heavy were heavy today. But is the kind of this game that we are playing here. They are coming thick and fast. But we played. Sometimes we have to play bad football, then you get the result.
Coach, you're talking about the fatigue on some of your players. Looking ahead, how do you balance the excitement in the final with the need to stay focused and prepared?
They won today. They deserve to celebrate today. But after today, tomorrow is work.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
And now we are joined Costa de Sol coach Miranda Temala. Had like coach the overall of the game, please.
Como é que analisa o jogo?
Fazendo uma análise simples, foi um jogo que durante todos os 90 minutos, todos os globais, que foi um jogo em que a gente controlou, um jogo que nós dominamos. Podíamos ter saído daqui com um resultado positivo. Sofremos 2 golos na minha ótica, às vezes contra a corrente de jogo, no momento que a gente estava a dominar o jogo. E depois fizemos o 2-1, podíamos ter feito o 2-2. Eu não sei como é que um lance na área em que há contacto, o VAR chama o árbitro para não apitar aquele penalti. Eu não sei se o VAR é para auxiliar o árbitro ou para induzir o árbitro ao erro. É inconcebível. Primeira parte, uma bola vai para a mão ali. Não foram para ver se a bola bateu na mão, como é que está o corpo. É penalti o nosso favor, então lá o VAR intervém. É difícil assim.
We think we're losing a game, and then it's normal. Congratulations for other team, and then we're so angry. We're so disappointed for the VAR. The first half, some handsball for the another team. I didn't call the referee to come to check. Now VAR we call the referee for check for not kick our penalty. And then I don't know how this fight is working for us. Not working for us. If next time we see it, have to move some team for come here to doing that. Have to do that. Don't invite us to doing that thing.
Thank you so much, coach.
Okay.
Thank you. Awesome. Check it fast. Don't worry. So we're getting ready for the next in pre-match. Yeah. Not necessarily because of time. Yeah. And also so you don't want to. I was not sure whether they were yeah, I know. Yeah.